Well, good afternoon and a very warm welcome to each of you here this afternoon to this wonderful memorial as we celebrate the life of that beautiful Coralie. My name's Kate Villano, I'm a civil celebrant, and I'm just so thrilled to be here. Kane, thank you, and family, thank you for allowing me this privilege to officiate the celebration of your beautiful mum's life. Antonio and I were very blessed to have Coralie in our life for a number of years, probably 13, 14 years I was working out, isn't that right, Helen? Yes. And Coralie used to come with Helen and other friends to all of our shows for years. And very rarely did she miss a show unless she was unwell or away on one of her many trips. And I think we loved her as much as she loved us. So I do feel very privileged. So on behalf of myself and Colin and Grace from Natural Funeral Companies, thank you for entrusting us, Kane, to look after Mum and the preparations of Mum and also officiating this service. Before we commence with the formalities, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that have a mobile phone, would you take a minute now, if you wouldn't mind, and just double check that it's either switched to silent or turned off. It's guaranteed it's going to ring. It always does. Whilst you're checking your phones, Kane extends a warm invitation to you all this afternoon at the conclusion of our service to join him and the rest of the family in the lounge room that we walked into to share in some light refreshments, some more stories and memories, and have a look at all the wonderful photographic memories and all the bits and bobs that Kane has brought in as just a small reflection of Cora's, well, not quite so small I have to say, but quite a large selection of photographs and bits and bobs. So please make sure you have a look at all those photos. Kane will be really disappointed if you don't. Today gives Kane a wonderful opportunity to honour his beautiful mum and for the family to honour their special Coralie, and they're going to be doing that through words, through photographs, a wonderful presentation we're going to be seeing shortly, and through music. And it was the music, well, all sorts of music touched Coralie's heart. I have to say we were superseded by Elvis, but never mind. So the music today has been selected specifically for Coralie and music she liked, and that first piece was called Requiem, or Piastu. And I know Coralie really enjoyed that piece, and there'll be a couple more pieces throughout our 45-minute service today. So we hope we do Coralie proud in honouring her the way she wanted to be honoured. We unite today to celebrate the life of Coralie. We honour the wisdom of the universe that she held so dear. May the energies of the stars guide her spirit on its next journey as she cycles of the cosmos turn ever in harmony with her soul. Coralie, a lover of the mysteries of astrology and the ancient teachings of China, may the strength of the dragon and the grace of the phoenix carry her gently, while the winds of all the places she travelled whisper her name, and the earth cradles her in peace and in serenity. With gratitude we send Coralie's soul onto its next adventure, trusting that she will find harmony and joy in the realms beyond. Today we unite to remember Coralie as that vibrant soul who brought a smile to everyone that she met. She was happy, outgoing, bubbly, and always wore that smile no matter what. Her warm spirit was infectious, and her acceptance of others made her a cherished friend and an even more cherished family member. Coralie had a passion for life that was evident in everything she did. Whether she was behind the camera, capturing precious moments, creating beautiful DVDs, or travelling to new and exciting places, she did it all with an enthusiasm that was uniquely her own. It was uniquely Coralie. She was a storyteller by pen and a storyteller by heart, dedicating her time to writing and publishing biographies that honoured the lives of so many. Her love for music, astrology and history, particularly her fascination with the Titanic and of course Elvis, revealed her deep appreciation for the world around her. A true collector of experiences, Coralie adored her knickknacks, hundreds of them. Each one though holding a special memory or a story just waiting to be told. And she'd tell you the story, wouldn't she, girls? She cherished her time at the beach and her adventures, particularly in Hawaii, where she could soak in the sun and the beauty of that beautiful ocean that she loved all her life. In her professional life, Coralie wore many hats. She was a devoted childcare worker, a diligent secretary, a loving homemaker, a talented videographer, and an inspiring biographer. But her greatest achievements were found in the love and devotion she had for her family. Her heart swelled with pride for her son Cain and her beloved grandchildren, Jasmine, Alice, Mandy. They were her greatest joys, and she poured her love into each precious moment she spent with them. As we reflect on Coralie's life today, let us honour her memory by embracing her spirit of joy, of acceptance and love. And though she may no longer be with us, her smile and laughter and all that love she shared will forever remain with all of you. Thank you all for being here to celebrate Coralie today. As mentioned, I knew Coralie, but I didn't know her as intimately or as personally as most of you here today. Therefore, as a celebrant, it's not my place to share her life story. That needs to be told by those who knew her and loved her the most, which is her family, and they will be doing that very shortly. But each of you here in this room today are all testament. You are testament to the influence that Coralie had on you. That's why you're all here today. Coralie's life and her life story was made up of many, many different chapters. And within those chapters, there were such fun parts, at times really tough parts. The parts that made you laugh, and the parts that made you cry. And the endings, such as today, that leave you feeling sad. and it's okay to feel sad, because today marks an end of an era for many of you.
And I'm going to lose the mic to start. There we go. Okay. Thank you to all family and friends gathered here today to celebrate my mum's life, as well as those who couldn't be here but have sent their heartfelt condolences. For those who are spiritual, I like to think that our loved ones who have passed, friends like Jan, Grace, Ruth, are here with us in spirit, perhaps even sharing a cup of tea with my mum, keeping her company today. We're fortunate to have our celebrant Kate and Antonio from Vogue Duo here with us. My mum was a devout fan, often following them around Adelaide, truly embracing her inner groupie.
We called her a stalker. But a lovely one.
Today we are honoured, we honour her life here at Partridge House, a place that meant so much to her. This is where she attended her writers group, hosted book launches and felt closest to the beach and her cherished home in Bath Street. She loved living in Glenelg, always wanting to be near the water and embracing every moment of it. Carly, my mother, didn't have a specific career path in mind. Her life's ambition was simply to get married and have children. Interestingly, she married my dad, Andrew Lee, at 32, which was considered late at the time as well. It's really early. And she adopted me from Taiwan when she was 40. My parents doted on me, spoiling me in the best ways. While my dad took care of our practical needs, my mum filled my childhood with incredible magic and play environments. She crafted spaces like a happy hut, an area made from an unused rabbit hutch, the kitchen shopping mall that took up half of our actual kitchen, so that I could play and shop. And in the backyard there's like a sports course and golf and you name it. My mum just set these amazing things. Looking back, I realised my friends were probably envious of the amazing play experiences and toys my parents provided. My mum's creativity extended beyond our home, especially when she became an OSHVAC care coordinator at Blackstock Hill. She built pirate ships out of blocks and she took kids on amazing journeys around the world, complete with passports. I know those kids had a fantastic time. It's just amazing what she used to sell up there, and looking back, you're just like, wow. Despite my mum's efforts to create a wonderful home, family can be complex and messy. I also have an older half-sister, Mandy, and a half-brother, Joshua, who was about the same age as my oldest daughter over here, 20. I don't recall much about Mandy, as I was just a baby when we were separated, and attempted to connect with her later in life didn't work out. I don't know Joshua either, and as I mentioned, it is all quite complicated. There was even a time when my mum, dad, Mei Ling and I were on the run. My father's background and cultural differences contributed to his severe temper, infidelity and abusive home, which ultimately led to my mother to flee to a women's shelter in 1994. But despite everything, my parents truly loved me and they gave me their all. I feel fortunate to have had two loving parents and to have learned from them both. You're very embracing the best parts of their lives to shape the person I am today. My mum was beautiful, so sorry. Perhaps unrealistic in some ways, but that was part of its charm, especially as she grew older. Although I don't take on my mum's beliefs, astrology, tarot cards, psychic readings, I did adopt many of her views on people, balance them out with that practical side. My feminist views come from my mother. She endured a lot of trauma, but learned valuable lessons from her vow marriage and her belief that people are just where they're at. She always chose happiness regardless of the circumstances. After separating from my father, my mother published biographies for people. While she wasn't musically talented, she partied harder than I did in my late teens and 20s, often jamming country club with Rail and following the Vogue Duo with an iPad or camera in hand to film their performances. Despite her conservative outlook on relationships, she managed to fall head over heels for a singer named James. She even travelled to Tamworth Music Festival with him. Although some friends and family had reservations about James, I thought it was wonderful to see that my mum was having fun and doing what made her happy. Amid all this, she still found time to travel to Hong Kong, Europe, and her beloved Hawaii. My mum longed to be a grandmother, though she didn't want to be called one. So, in 2004, Kylie and I welcomed and she became Nani. Nani doted on Jazz just as much as she had on me, spending endless time together and creating countless DVDs. Later in 2018, my partner Nicole and I had Alice Lee Dallin, and she became Nani once again. And then in 2020, we had Maddie Lee Dallin over there, who was born, and she continued her role as Nani, just as much loved for each of them. Sadly, by then my mum's mental capacity had begun to deteriorate. In 2016, I noticed she was struggling with money, often borrowing from people borrowing money from people. When I stepped in to help, I discovered that she was overwhelmed by her finances, missing bill payments and juggling multiple bank accounts and credit cards she didn't even remember. I took over managing her finances, but her condition worsened in 2019. One day, she couldn't find her car calling me. And rather than calling someone, even though she had a phone in her hand and bothering people, she decided to sleep in a garden bed overnight. Which, in the morning, she called Helen, and then, it's like, what? And she ended up in hospital. Anyway, it turned out my mum had dementia. She chose to narrow her circle to just Chris, Helen, and myself and my family. Despite encouraging her to go out again, she often told me that, she'd done all that she wanted to do. Even as she withdrew from many things, she remained happy and content with the simple joys of life. She loved her unit on Buck Street, strolling around Glenelg in the summer and enjoying tea and meringue at the Mediterranean Cafe. She treasured Christmas gatherings with all the grandkids, Nicole's family, Paul, Robin, Brenton and Greg, and our extended family, Bella, Marley and David. Through her work, though her world grew smaller, she always found fulfillment in her daily routine and continued to enjoy outings with the family in late family. In later years, she found real joy in participating in activities at the Cumberland Park Community Centre every Wednesday and visiting Cleveland every Thursday with Maddie and Nicole. At the beginning of this year, we noticed she was losing weight, lightly beginning to eat. We did our best to encourage her to eat, but on August the 26th, I had to tell her she needed to move into care. Amazingly, she accepted and trusted me. 3 days later, August 17th, actually that's right, 26th or 17th, anyway, I think it's a bit better around. We went to the doctors and it was revealed that she had fluid on her lungs. A trip to the hospital that day would be her last time. The hospital drained her lungs, which helped her for a while, but the MRI showed she had cancer spread throughout her body and that she had a broken arm due to leaking bones. With little time left, we decorated her hospital space with photos she loved to surround her with memories until the day she passed. Her final days were true. She moved to hospice with a large window overlooking the sky. A pink pony even visited her on that day. And she got to go out to the rooftop garden and face the ocean. I am grateful for the wonderful support from the Medical Centre. I also want to thank the show from ECH and her team for helping her live independently for so long, just as she would. I'm forever in debt to Chris and Helen, who were there for my mum not only through her life, but especially during the last 4 years. Their support has meant the world to me. I am grateful that my mum passed with her beautiful personality intact.
Right up to the end, the core of my Nani's personality stayed crystal clear. When you walked into her hospital room, her vibrant spirit shone out like warm light into everything around her. Dozens of cherished family photos crowded her walls in every frame and size, while rainbow fairy lights illuminated the beach shells, plastic butterflies, and yin and yang necklaces dangling above her head. She spent her final days at the center of a lovingly decorated shrine to all of her best memories, filled with bright flashes, conversation, and music. Her vibrant red cast was filled with drawings and signatures, with neon pink and music note blankets covering her legs, and her Elvis teddy tucked in right by her side. Some of her final words were, "I can't ever really be sad because of the happiness I've got. It's just one day after another. If I survive, I survive, and if I don't, I don't. I make the best of every day because you're lucky you've got another day, and I am just grateful for every little thing in my life. The people are the major ones. All I want is for everyone to feel happy, and I'm grateful for everything, every little thing." Just as her beachside apartment was always a rich treasure trove of photographs, trinkets, and brightly colored posters, she made every space she occupied a sanctuary of happiness, exploration, and love. With everything her mind and body could give, she poured out into the world her faith in people and her deep gratitude for the joy and beauty that could be found in every moment. As I kissed her forehead, the last words she said to me were, "I don't remember who you are, or who I am, or where I am anymore, but I love you. I love you all very much. I'm very grateful that you've all come to be here with me. I like it when people visit. Thank you, thank you. I don't know who I am, where I am, what to say, or what to think anymore, but thank you for everything. Thank you, thank you. I love you."
Finally, I'd like to share something from volume 1 of my mum's Hey Hey book, a piece of her life that I'm so lucky to have. In it she wrote, "If your children don't show an interest now, don't worry, because you know, when your mum and dad die, you'll say, I never really knew, I never really talked to them." But basically, it was just sort of saying how we don't really talk to our parents about like their life story or anything until they're done. Like, actually, I never really talked to them and know them, and I think that's so true. Like, I didn't really talk to my mum about a lot of things and know a lot about her story and stuff. So I realised now how lucky I am that she took the time to write and publish some of her story. I never really talked to her about her life in that way. At the start of the book, she included a dedication that speaks to all of you here today. To those who have shared my life, for whatever reason, however long, each has influenced the soul in one way or another, helping to mold me into the person I am today. Sincerely, I thank you. As you take this journey with me through my life, I trust you will find meaning in your own. Coral. Again, thank you everyone for being a part of my mum's life, and thank you for coming out and celebrating her life with us today.
So I'm going to share some more anecdotal memories about Auntie Collie that explain the amazing woman that she was to me. And then I'm going to read a piece written by Mum, if I can get through that. Auntie Collie, I mean, honestly, where do you start? You need a dictionary and a thesaurus and an encyclopedia of words to encompass all that she was. She was complex and brilliant. I used to say to people, she's vibrant and wonderful and often as mad as a cut snake, but I loved her. She was always there for me, supporting and believing me without question or judgment. You could tell her absolutely anything and know that it would be met with a combination of interest, questions, sensitivity, lots of wordplay and puns on anything you had said, and hilarity. Her cackle and her exclamations at your stories are something I will definitely miss. But before being my aunt, she was just an incredibly inspiring woman. I personally know of no others in her era who just took themselves off to the other side of the world on an adventure to both see and experience and give to those less fortunate. To say she had an adventurous soul would be an understatement. To really appreciate it, you would need to read her writings and watch her videos. But as Kane and Mum can attest in the last few weeks, they were created in unbelievable masses and volumes, bags and boxes and tomes, and literally hundreds, possibly even thousands of DVDs and papers. But to watch the videos can be both amazing and frustrating. She would film every single detail of a place. What I vividly remember, she did a zoom close-up of a doorknob. And I remember asking her, it was an unremarkable doorknob, but I remember asking her, no, I liked it. But it caught her eye. She would zoom in on blades of grass. When you look at them, we discussed with Kate whether, how many of them you can keep. But like you said, it's always like the worst tourism videos ever, because she hasn't filmed herself. She's just zoomed through filming everything else. The art of trimming and condensing was one that bypassed her. But the life she lived and the stories she could tell and wrote were incredible. And wow, was she a master of collecting what we'll call souvenirs. Visiting at the various homes she lived in over the years was like walking into a mix of Mystic Meg's den and a fully stocked souvenir gift shop. They had to be seen to be believed. There was not a square inch of space that didn't hold a wonder. Knickknacks and curios. There were birds and monkeys and Hawaiian leis and other stuffed animals. She put up a full palm tree and a gazebo in one just so that she could hang the zodiac sheep from the roof. She particularly loved stuffed animals and birds, any animals that played music or repeated what you said. And much hilarity would be had sitting there when suddenly a bird would chime up with what you had just said. We won't mention the fire hazard of having way too many things plugged in and cords wrapped around fabric and disaster waiting to happen, but she always made it work. And there were lights and planes and things all up high. It was crazy, outstanding and wonderful, and so very, very her. Now my family have heard these two memories a lot, but I need to share them with everyone else. These are the two that I will hold on to particularly. There were many. But one was she managed to go on a big overseas trip over Europe, and because I had lived in England, I helped her organise quite a bit of that. And not long before she left, she said to me that she had read about the dangers of travelling, and pickpockets particularly. And she was worried about being in London and being pickpocketed. And she said, so I've read, you need to blend in. You need to not look like a tourist. And I said to her, yes, that's a very good idea. And at the day we dropped her off at the airport and she walked off into International, she had gold leggings, a fluffy pink jacket, white stiletto heels, and as she went, yep, you blend right in. And I think that's how I would picture her, just walking on. Who knows what's going to happen, but you always knew she would be okay. The other one is one that I'm very annoyed at her for not filling in for me. And that was that when she was over there, I was sitting at work one day and got a phone call. And when I said hello, she said, right, I've missed the flight, but I'm in the taxi and I'm on the way to the airport and there's another one, and do you understand why I missed it? Because the lady in the bank had to rip up all the little bits of paper. And I said, what bits of paper? And she said, and she was quite friendly, so she just said, I don't know, but do you know that I'm on the way there? And I was like, what country are you in? No, at first I said, where are you? And she said, I'm in the taxi, I'm on the way to the taxi, but what country are you in? But that whole trip, I think there was a donkey in Greece or somewhere, like just adventure after adventure after adventure. And she loved every bit of it. She was chaos, and she was often what I would describe as a beautiful hot mess, but she was also love and joy and much, much laughter. Like all of us, as they've spoken to, life touched her in painful ways, but the words that have stuck in my head since she passed is that she just had such an indomitable spirit. Indomitable meaning impossible to subdue or defeat. She loved the zodiacs, astrology, the universe. She found connectedness and synchronicity in everything. Those of us who spent time with her all know her cry of magic happens, and she would find magic in anything. Her other philosophy that I loved, Kane touched on, which is when you would be having a problem or complaining about people, she would just say, they're where they're at. That's where they've evolved to at this point. They're where they're at. I've been reading a lot of her writing in the past few days, and this bit stood out to me. I've discovered true love only comes when one's mind, body and spirit are harmoniously balanced. That is not achieved all the time. So the challenge in life is not to permanently remain toppled over, but to steady oneself and rebalance, evolving with each fall. She carried and gave out these cards. Magic happens on one side, and the other was her motto, which was inspired by hummingbirds. And it says, extract the sweetness of life and pass it on. She was simply unique and totally unforgettable. And I loved her. I will see her again one day with Granny and Keith, and we will hug, laugh, swap stories and drink tea. This is from Collie. Since I was born, there was always this ball of energy beside me, full of life, making me enjoy every moment of every day. As a little girl, I could not say Coralie, so she became Collie to me. As a 2-year-old, she would stand on the back steps of my grandma's house in Mildura and spout out stories to the world for all the birds and insects to hear. My earliest memories are of us in our beds, with me trying to get to sleep in our double bunks, but she would start telling me stories as she made them up, and in the end, I would grab a knitting needle and poke it through the flock mattress to shut her up. Whilst I was too young to remember it, she would tell me that one day she decided we should run away from home as we had a school teacher boarder who was not very nice to us. Collie packed our school cases with clothes and toys, but we only got as far as the front gate and decided it was too scary. We both went to Nailsworth Primary School, and then Collie went to Nailsworth Technical School, and I went to Adelaide Girls High. No doubt it was here that her love of words and writing began. This lasted her whole life. She was a master at wordplay and puns, and recently I waded through boxes and bags, absolute volumes of writings, diaries and stories. She was a sprinter, and she won some races at sports days and played hockey for the school team. She taught Sunday school at Enfield Methodist Church and was a member of the Girl Comrades. The boys at the church nicknamed her Sputnik because she was out of this world. Something she loved doing was taking babies for outings to the park, from the Mariba Babies Home for unwed mothers and the Kate Cox Babies Home for neglected and unwanted babies. She loved babies and once made a whole scrapbook about her desire to be a mother. Once a week after school, we took the tram into town to the Old King's Ballroom for Legacy Girls Club, where Aubrey Hall and his wife cooked us saveloys and mashed potato for tea and then taught us ballroom dancing. I was in the juniors and Collie was in the seniors. This is where Collie met Rails and they became firm friends and got up to some weird and wonderful adventures. I used to make cane baskets and trays at the Legacy meetings and sometimes took them home to finish them off. We had an incinerator in the backyard and we tried smoking the cane sticks and thought we were really cool. She had great fun at Legacy camps where she mixed with the Legacy boys. Enough said. She had a never-ending string of boyfriends, including an accountant, a uni student from Malaysia, a Czech waiter, a policeman, a cowboy, a Dutchman with a bright red MG sports car, a merry-go-round attendant, an army cadet and a would-be minister. I can tell you hilarious stories of how and why each one got the flick. As you can imagine, our teenage years were never ever dull. She worked first as a comptometrist. Now you probably need to Google that because I had to. Points for anyone who can tell me what a comptometer is. Oh, someone can do it. It is the first commercially successful key-driven mechanical calculator. And she worked for Crompton and Son, the pastoral company, sitting in the back of a truck with her machine counting the sheep in the yards. Later, she worked as a secretary to 5 lecturers at the then Salisbury College of Advanced Education. In her late 20s, Collie sold her set of Greenaware saucepans, some of you might remember those, and used the money for a one-way ticket to Hong Kong, where she spent 3 years in the administrative office of the leprosy mission at Haiping Chow, working as a secretary to the surgeons who performed operations on the leprosy patients. There she met Andrew, who she had sponsored in his education, and of course then fell in love, brought him to Australia and married him. Some years later, she went to Taiwan and adopted Kane as a 6-week-old baby, who she described as the most beautiful baby she had ever seen. I read one of those letters this week, and you were Adonis. You were stunning. She joined a walking group as well as 3 writing groups in Glenelg and organised many elaborate get-togethers with the members. She published an autobiography of one of the members, which was so well done and received. All her life has been one drama after another, but the stories she could tell and the way she told them was so entertaining. The ladies at our Unley View Club would fight over who would sit next to her because they loved listening to her. Her middle name was Joy, and she gave joy to everyone she met. My life will be nowhere near the same without my vibrant 1 in a million sister. We were so very close and have been through so much together. Whilst we were always chalk and cheese, we worked well as a 2-person team. Our lives have always been filled with fun and laughter, and I'm thankful we have had each other for so many years. The parting is sad, but I have so many beautiful memories I cherish and will always keep with me.
Well, bless my soul, what's wrong with me? I'm itching like a man on a fuzzy tree. My friends say I'm acting wild as a bug. I'm in love, I'm all shook up. Yeah, well, my hands are shaky and my knees are weak. I can't seem to stand on my own 2 feet. Who do you think of when you have such luck? I'm in love, I'm all shook up. Well, please don't ask me what's on my mind. I'm a little mixed up, but I feel fine when I'm near the girl that I love best. My heart beats so it scares me to death when she touches my hand. Oh, what a chill I got. Her lips are like a volcano that's hot. I'm proud to say that she's my buttercup. I'm in love, I'm all shook up. My tongue gets tied when I try to speak. My inside is shaking like a leaf on a tree. There's only one cure for this body of mine, that's to have that girl and a love so fine. She touching my hand and what a chill I got. Her lips are like a volcano that's hot. I'm proud to say that she's my buttercup. I'm in love, I'm all shook up. I'm all shook up. Night and you and blue Hawaii. The night is heavenly, and you are heaven to me. Lovely you and blue Hawaii, with all this loveliness, there should be love. Come with me while the moon is on the sea. The night is young, and so are we, so are we. Dreams come true in blue Hawaii, and mine could all come true this magic night of nights with you. Come with me while the moon is on the sea. The moon is on the the night is young, and so are we, so are we. Our dreams come true in blue Hawaii, and mine could all come true this magic night of nights with you.
Every night in my dreams I see you, I feel you. That is how I know you go far across the distance and spaces between us. You have come to show you go near, far, wherever you are. I believe that the heart does go. Once more
was I remember a whiteboard in her bathroom from ceiling to floor where she had written many positive uplifting words to make people think. In talks with her, she had a saying, people are what they are. And she was always more focused on taking photos and videos of others. She travelled to Europe on her own and organised a tour for a couple of months and had a great time meeting up with lots of other tourists travelling around. She always loved Elvis and she dreamt of going to Hawaii. So in 2010, we took a trip together and toured there and around the Big Island. She loved the beaches, the beautiful, warm, sunny weather, and we took tours all around the local area and even in a helicopter to see the volcano with the lava spilling out into the sea. Around 10 years ago, she began to have problems with her memory and she started to lose her confidence in all kinds of communication. She continued to keep herself busy by walking around the local area, having cups of tea at the bakery and the Mediterranean restaurant while walking to the beach. I kept in contact with her and we got together twice weekly for a cup of tea and something to eat at lunchtime. I remember having endless cups of tea with her, and it was in the last few years that communication became very difficult. In the week before she passed, I remember visiting her in the hospital with my son David, and Kay and his family were there. She raised her hands and said, "Be happy." She was a wonderful person who found joy in every moment, and she had a positive impact on the people around her. So thank you, my true friend. You will be sorely missed.
My name is Amanda. I'm the daughter of Jan Clodier, who we lost in 2020. I'm here with some of my siblings and my husband Rob. Since the 80s, Coralie has been a dear friend to our mum. Amelia and I have fond memories of visiting Coralie at Kane's house on Lynn Street after school, where Coralie made Kane's childhood special. She had a magical way of turning ordinary days into extraordinary adventures. At our home in Marina, Coralie's blue Honda Jazz was a familiar sight, parked in the driveway. It meant a good time was happening, where the air was filled with sounds of chatter and laughter over endless cups of tea and coffee. Coralie was more than just a friend, she was like family. She'd pop over on Christmas mornings to enjoy ham on toast with mum and dad. She was also with us during special family events, often with a video camera, to film the event for us, making sure to capture every little detail and get everyone on camera. Coralie loved life and her vibrant energy was a gift to everyone around her. She radiated positivity, reminding us to embrace every moment, no matter how small. Thank you, Coralie, for bringing so much colour into our lives.
Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay. There's always some reason to feel not good enough, and it's hard at the end of the day. I need some distraction. Find some peace tonight in the arms of the angel. Fly away from this dark, cold hotel room. so tired of the stray light. And everywhere you turn, there's vultures and fleas at your back. The storm keeps on twisting, keep on building the lives that would make up for all that you lack. It don't make no difference. Escape one last time. It's easier to believe in this sweet madness of this glorious sadness. Brings me to my knees in the arms of the angel, far away from this dark, cold hotel room and the endlessness that you feel. You pull from the wreckage out of your silent reverie. You're in the arms of the angel. May you find some comfort. You're in the arms of the angel. May you find some
Family and friends, that does conclude our celebration of Coralie's life today, but your celebration is going to continue on during light refreshments where you can spend some time together. Hey, on behalf of myself, Colin and Jess from the Natural Funeral Company, thank you so much for this wonderful privilege. It really has been a privilege. Family and friends, thank you for being here today to pay your respects to Coralie, but most importantly, to wrap your arms around this beautiful family.
I've laughed and cried. I've had my fill, my share of losing. And now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that. And may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the words he truly feels, and not the words of someone else.
Are you very snug?
Yeah. Do I look happy?
The teddy's there?
Like, it's one day after another, you know, if I survive, I survive, and if I don't, I don't.
Fair enough.
Do the best you can and everything.
Yeah.
I'm lucky to have such a happy family.
Oh.
Very precious. Keep on doing what you can do. Because all these, look, it's just magic. Magic.
Huh.
No, I make the best of every day because You're lucky you got another day. These little fellows add to it. They're only little things, but they're beautiful.
Okay, I'll grab my mom.
Is anybody else? So this is what happens when you come past all the ocean. Have one last go. Last one. Okay. Alright, come over here. 2 steps. 2 steps. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
I'm gonna work before I get
I can't ever really be sad because of the happiness I've got. All these, it's just magic, magic, magic.